Hello, I'm Nightmaaron, and welcome back to the testing chamber. We are continuing on from the last chamber. We have finished and we are ready to go. If you just joined, we are picking the left sides of the doors. You're not alone. You hear the sound of small critters scurrying around in the darkest corners of the room. All right, what's this clock? The wooden case is splintered and falling apart. $12:34. This must be our crystal pedal here. She loves me not. There appears to be a small opening in the bottom corner of the stone wall. Let's look into the hole. As you attempt to look in the hole, you hear squeaking of a small critter hiding in the darkness. It doesn't appear to come out, and your hand is much too large to fit into the hole. Okay, a loud crashing noise can be heard, along with what sounds like the cries of an unknown creature somewhere in the room. Great. I'm glad I did that. A pool of blood is formed around the mirror, see, I just made that up. My mind just does that. A pool of blood has formed on the floor where you stand. The mirror on the wall seems to have been shattered by some unknown entity. And here is our journal. More questions. Have you ever feared what may lurk in the dark as you're trying to sleep at night? No. Do you find that you get bored easy when you're on your own? No. Do you often find ways to keep yourself entertained? Yes. Would you say that you're someone who enjoys their own company? I mean, no. Do you typically get along well with others? Yeah. Would you consider yourself to be stubborn? Yep. Would you consider yourself to be argumentative? Sometimes, yes. Are you usually right when it comes to disagreements? So I won't argue a point unless I know for a fact that I'm right. Because if I don't know or I question it myself, I won't argue about it because I don't know. I don't know the answer. The only time in a disagreement is if I know I'm right, I will stand by that. So, yes. Would you consider yourself to be egotistical at times? No. Have you ever had an inflated opinion of yourself? No. Have you ever had a low opinion of yourself? Yes. Do you typically have low opinion of others? No. Does meeting new people make you anxious? Yes. Have you ever fantasized about living in a world all by yourself? No. Would you consider yourself to be the center of your own universe? No. Those were quick. Let's get our torn journal page and go drop this off. She holds a shard of glass in her hands. What would you like to do? We'll lay the token down. You hear a voice echo into your mind. Understanding requires much more depth than knowledge. Perhaps many know you, but how many understand you? We have paid tribute and received a blessing of wisdom. Your decision has been noted and your mark has been left. Left door. Oop, I keep going out of screen. The music room. Seems like each chamber we go up like an octave of the same song. A faint sound of music can be heard coming from somewhere in the room. There's a skelly. It looks like maybe it has a key. I can't tell. We got our pedal. She loves me. A pile of bones rests carefully stuffed into the broken stone wall. Various insects and critters scurry between the skeletal remains of some poor, unfortunate soul. Among the bones, an old tattered piece of parchment rests crumpled and rolled. Oh, is that what that is? We'll take the parchment. You reach your hand into the wall and wrap your fingers around the parchment before quickly yanking it out. We've acquired a treasure map. What does that do for us? Excuse me. So I can't interact with the treasure map. We'll go ahead and do our questions, get those out of the way. Do you ever take dangerous or unnecessary risks even when the reward probably isn't worth the consequences? No. Do you ever do things for thrill or adrenaline rush that the activity gives you? No. If you knew that your death would be the fault of your significant other and the only way to avoid your death was to break the contract with them forever, would you do it? Not contact, but if you knew that your death would be the fault of your significant other and the only way to avoid your death was to break contact with them forever, would you do it? I don't think so. If you could know the death dates of everyone you care about, would you want to know? No. Would you consider yourself to be a jealous person? Sometimes. Would you consider yourself to be insecure at times? All the time. Would you say that you do well under pressure? Yes. Have you ever considered leaving Earth forever? Yes. Do you ever pray? I have. So yeah. If you could travel back to a previous period in time, would you? Yes. If you could fast forward your life without having to currently live it, would you? If you could fast forward your life without having to currently live it, would you? I don't think so. Do you believe in true evil? Yes. It is better to kill than be killed. Do you agree with that statement? No. Is there someone in your life that you currently fear? I don't know. Not really. I don't think so. To your knowledge, has anyone ever been afraid of you? Yes. Which is weird for me to say, but they told me they were. I'm a nice guy. All right, let's go up here and check things out. There's an organ. That's a butterfly. There's our clock. The old dusty clock sits on the wall. A music note appears to be carved into the bottom of the clock's case. And what time is it? 3:45. dusty clay vase sits on the ground before you. When you peer into it, the bottom appears to be shrouded in darkness. What would you like to do? Well, I'm not just one to walk into somewhere and start breaking vases like Link, so... You reach your hand into the vase and feel something at the bottom. You grip it firmly and retrieve it. We got a wisdom token. And what do we got here? An old organ rests against the stone wall. It's caked in thick cobwebs. Spiders skitter quickly across the keys. What would you like to do? Let's play the organ. You place your hands on the dusty, spider-infested keys and begin to play a few notes. As you continue to play notes, you hear the distant sound of a violin playing along with you, coming from somewhere in the darkness. I was enjoying that. Damn it. The music in these games are phenomenal. The games themselves are phenomenal. They really are. The library. It is like changing notes or octaves. The distinct aroma of old, musty books sweep across the room. I love the smell of books, like a bookstore. I love it. A wooden grave marker tethered with rope sits before you. Here rests gluttony. Some feel as though gluttony is a trait of the self-serving who disregard what actions may spell doom for others. Gluttony is also escape from reality that's consuming one from within. Rest in peace, gluttony. Cobwebs envelop the old tomes and many other pages are no longer intact. There appears to be one book left on the shelf that's in noteworthy condition and might just be legible. Read the book. You flip through a few pages of the well-kept book until stopping on a page with something of interest to you. It appears to be a handwritten page of some sort, perhaps a journal or diary. Perhaps it's just an open letter to anyone who might find it. It reads as follows. I don't know who's going to read this. Hell, I barely touched anything in this place since I got here. A few things I've come to realize since I've been trapped in these halls. For starters, it appears that there are 4 magics at play here. I found grisly ritualistic altars, human sacrifices, half-eaten corpses, mass graves of nameless bones, and worse, if you can even imagine worse, that is. I've also met a few other wanderers in my journey through these halls. I've shared a few words and have had some knowledge bestowed upon me. I helped a woman escape from a grotesque abomination only to find that she was a witch with a hankering for human flesh. No one and no thing here is to be trusted under any circumstances, and quite honest, the longer I spend within the testing chamber, the more I can understand why. From what I understand, the only way out of this place is to find a sacred mirror of some sort. Without the mirror, our souls are forever lost in purgatory, doomed to endlessly wander these halls for eternity. Many come seeking answers, few will make it out alive. I've yet to see anyone surviving here for longer than a day or two, and I'm beginning to think that I'll be no expectation. Through constant exploration and ruthless amount of digging, my studies have led me to the conclusion that this place was originally built to keep the souls of the damned from escaping their eternal prison. But whoever built this place wanted something good to come from their presence. Other wanderers I've spoken to believe that the souls are trapped here, meant to offer wisdom and guidance based on the mistakes of their past life. A veiled woman used to wander these halls until she was turned to stone, but she served as a caretaker and guiding light in the darkness for quite some time before she crossed paths with one of the worst entities from roam these halls. Some claim not everything here is evil. I'm not so sure about that. I was told that if I come here, I would gain answers I sought. I don't even know if that's a possibility at this point. My skin has begun to rot off my bones, and I don't know how much longer I can last on this journey, what I can only describe as a living hell. To be quite honest with you, I don't even know if I'm still alive anymore, and if I am, I don't know how much longer that's meant to last. Signed, a wanderer. Wow. That's, some information there. You close the book carefully, slide it back into its place. And I mean, look at us. We're already like a skeleton. Cobwebs littered the case of the clock, making it difficult to read the position of the hands. So can we not read it? Nope, we can read it. 1111. So I don't know if we need to check all these books or not. The books on this shelf appear to be covered in ash and soot. They look as though they've barely survived a fire at one point in time. One book in particular appears to be unburnt. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even look like it belongs with others on this shelf. You flip through the few pages of the mysterious unburnt book until stopping on a page covered in the images of butterflies. There are various depictions of human-like figures morphing into small critters. Their arms and legs shrink, their torsos turn into smaller abdomens, and some of them even sprout wings, judging by the imagery. The book has a detailed passage about various things you might encounter in the testing chamber. It reads as follows. To the trapped souls who seek vindication and absolution, read on. If you believe that your soul has been wrongfully kept within the confines of the testing chamber, you may undergo the trials of wisdom and attempt to free yourself from these halls and relinquish all captivity, severing the bonds that shackle you to the prison. One of the first steps in this process is finding the old hag that wanders these halls and paying a tribute of her choosing. Once the hag has agreed to assist you, she will bestow upon you a transmortification spell, which will turn you into a creature of your choosing. Many choose to become butterflies, as it's easier to get around and you can make yourself more or less noticeable by sticking to the shadows, only venturing into the light when you deem it necessary. This also allows you to keep yourself out of range of threats from down below, as most of the entities that wander these halls do so by foot. Once the transmortification has taken a full effect, you must seek out a wanderer and offer your life to them. If the wanderer accepts, you must bestow upon them a blessing of knowledge that may aid them on their journey. If the watcher deems your blessing worthy of your freedom, then your soul shall be freed to the testing chamber. Where your soul travels after this process is complete is still as known. But one thing is for certain, no soul who has ever left these halls has ever returned. Signed, Alice. So are we supposed to be talking to the butterflies? Because I've just been leaving them alone. Interesting. You close the book and carefully slide it back into its place. Something don't feel right about the books that rest on the shelf before you. It's almost like they're not quite what they seem. Perhaps they're not even books at all. Shelves packed with dusty old books line the walls of this room. None of the books seem to be written in a language you've seen before. Some of these books almost look familiar to you. Perhaps they're alternate versions of something you've read before. The wood used to build these shelves almost seems as though it were rotted before the shelves were actually constructed. The books themselves are not in much better condition. A small butterfly nears you. One of its wings are pierced with a small metal object. What would you like to do? Pluck? I don't want to pluck the wings from the butterfly. I don't want to, especially knowing that it might be wanderers. I mean, because if they can't fly, An old wooden chest rests before you, locked and chained shut. A handprint appears to be carved on each side along with a set of words. The two words are as follow: offensive and defensive. What would you like to do? I'm gonna say defensive. The chain on the chest breaks with a loud metal clank. What do we get? An iron shield. You will live with your decision whether you like it or not. All right, we get our crystalline object. All right, we got our pedal. She loves me not. Stone statue of the veiled woman stands before us. She holds an old leather-bound book pressed tightly against her bosom. Lay a token. Others will always treat you in any which way you decide to let them. If you wish to be treated differently, then show them what behaviors you will and will not accept. Okay. And question time. You begin to read questions from the journal. Would you consider yourself to be a gambler? No. Would you consider yourself to be a confident individual? In my job, yes, but otherwise, no. That makes sense? Would you consider yourself to be more or less independent? Yeah. Would you consider yourself to be attractive? No. If you could implant a microchip in your hand that would replace all handheld electronic devices that you currently use, and your hand would act as a substitute for anything and everything you could need in that regard, would you do it? Yeah, because that'd be cool. Do you lie to people on a daily basis? No. Have you ever been afraid of suffocating? Yes. Have you ever been afraid of someone breaking into your home and harming your animals? Yes. Are you confident in your ability to defend yourself if need be? Yes. Would you fight against an insurmountable odds in order to protect a stranger's life from others who sought to wrongfully harm them? Sure. Would you consider yourself to be materialistic? No. Do your friends often share a similar set of morals and values to your own? I don't know. Do your friends often share your same interests, dreams, and ambitions in life? For the most part, yeah. If you can't beat them, join them. Do you know? Do you believe in the idea of soulmates? Yes. All right. Got our tour and journal page. Our decision has been noted, and our mark has been left. Yep, let's go. Paradise of the Damned. Oh. This is interesting. The bright sunlight burns your eyes and causes a brief blinding headache. Out of the darkness into the light. Enjoy the warmth while it lasts. A small butterfly nears you. The color it radiates is vibrant and pleasing to the eyes. What would you like to do? Walk away, because I don't want to pluck or hurt anything. Got a new kitty. Small cat-like creature wandering about aimlessly. So these are people then, probably. You reach down to inspect the tag securely fastened to the collar of the animal. It reads, name Foxy. You give Foxy a gentle pat on the head. A note is pinned to the bulletin board. It reads as follows. You don't have to stay, but you don't have to go. You could survive here forever. You at least deserve to know. The fruit is safe to eat, the water is fresh as it can be, and if you choose to stick around, you'd be in good company. Okay. The tree has seen better days and it seems to be in desperate need of water. Can I give it water? I would give it water. The tree has managed to survive the desert heat. It provides a relaxing shade underneath its branches and leaves. Beautiful green leaves grow brightly and healthy from this desert plant. Can't do anything with that. The desert cactus is covered with thick thorns. It's probably wise not to touch it. This plant offers what appears to be bright red, ripe, sweet fruit to those hungry enough to take a bite. Take a bite. You bite eagerly into the fruit. Oh, shit. I accidentally clicked. Damn. I don't know what it said. Okay. I can't interact with that. A winged totem stands tall before you. An orb made of crystal absorbs sunlight and produces an incredible amount of heat, glistening and gleaming brightly. We're gonna peer into the orb. You gaze upon the orb and peer deeply into the glass. Something beneath the orb glimmers in the sunlight. We got another wisdom token. An old well sits open and welcoming in the hot desert sun. It appears to be functioning and equipped with all the necessities to gather water. As you peer down the well, you see something reflecting light within the darkness. Raise the bucket from the well. We got a golden lute. Interesting. And our questioning begins. There's no clock here that I see either. Do you ever wish life could be free of drama? Yes. If you could leave your current life to live in paradise, would you do it? Yes. Would you ever live in a place where crime was commonplace and it was up to you to constantly have to defend yourself if need be? No. If you discovered that you were conceived... Wait a minute. If you discovered that when you were conceived, you were one of 4 identical embryos who look, talk, and act just like you, would you ever want to meet your other siblings? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be the most honest person you know? Yes. People are strange when you're a stranger. Isn't that a song? People are strange when you're a stranger. Isn't that a song? Do you agree with this statement? Yes, because if you don't take the time to get to know them, and they may be doing something that appears strange, do you believe that one should always stand for what they believe in, regardless of the consequences? Yes and no. Have you ever caused someone to have a near-death experience? No. Would you play Russian roulette for a chance at $10 million? If you win, you walk away with the money. But if you refuse to play, your net worth immediately becomes zero and you lose everything you've ever worked for. So... I don't know how Russian roulette actually works. Like, is it only one go? Or is it go until, like, the bullet's found? Like, I don't think so. Are you oftentimes afraid of change? Yes. Do you suffer from pain on a daily basis? Yes, my back. Have you ever wished that you couldn't feel pain at all? Yes. If you could grow wings and fly far away, would you? I think it'd be cool to be able to fly, but I don't think I would fly far away, because where the hell would I go? Do you ever feel invisible to the world? Yes. If the things you owned and what you purchased had no bearing on what people thought of you, would you choose to spend your money differently? No, because I don't care. Okay. Got our next journal piece. Wonder if this means like we're halfway or something. Yeah, it won't let me go back. Oh, I didn't see that. Got our pedal. She loves me. And she's gonna love me not. Before you stands the old wooden door with an iron handle. Would you like to open the door? Yes, I would. A return to madness. You find yourself back in the cold depths of long-forgotten chambers once more. And into the darkness you shall return. A decrepit leather chair sits in front of a cracked wooden table. In the seat of the chair rests a pool of blood that seems fresh and tacky, as if someone injured sat there to rest recently. A clay pot with an assortment of flowers rests on the table. After inspecting the coagulated soil, it seems as though the flowers are being watered with blood. Fantastic. Worms writhe and wriggle between the dirt and bloody flower stems. They seem to be feeding on chunks of flesh and bone within the soil itself. Gross. Old dusty clock sets. Scorch marks. Bird. 12:22. I don't know if I need to write these down or remember them or not, but I am. We might as well do the book while we're here. I hate this. Horror sounds. Horror. Horror. You begin to read questions from the journal. As we do. Would you consider yourself to have a chaotic personality? No, not really. Would you consider yourself to be a passionate person? Yes and no. Would you consider yourself to be a gentle soul? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be kind? Yes. To your knowledge, has anyone ever hated you? Probably. I'm gonna say yes. Have you ever truly hated someone else? Yes. Forgive but never forget. Do you agree with that statement? No. Everything happens for a reason. Do you agree with that statement? Yes and no, but mostly no. Do you believe that war is sometimes necessary? No. If your mother was in terrible pain, bedridden, and only weeks from inevitable death, and she begged you to end her suffering, would you find a way to assist her in suicide? This hits way too close to home because I was in a very similar situation to this. But I would not. Do you ever take a step back to reflect on where you're headed in life? Yes. Have you ever experienced what most would consider a severe bout of rage? Yes, I have. Would you consider yourself to be a good judge of character? Yes. Do you ever feel uneasy for no particular reason? Yes. Do you have any long-term goals, and if so, do you have a plan in place in order to accomplish them? I have long-term goals, but I don't really have a plan in place. Yet, anyway. Okay. I'm just kind of winging life as I go, I guess. All right, what do we got here? Small butterflies near you. It's covered in soil. What would you like to do? I'm not going to pluck its wings. Not going to make me game. A pot of flowers sits on the wooden table. The flower pot seems tilted slightly as if it's sitting on top of something and providing a lack of balance. What would you like to do? Look under it. You lift the flower pot slightly and inspect underneath. A small coin is wedged under the pot, making it uneven on the table. We got another wisdom token. Thank you very much. All right, another crystalline petal. All right. She loves me not. A stone statue of a veiled woman sits tall before you. Her fingers are caked in wet soil and a pile of worms rests at her feet. What would you like to do? We'll lay a token. We hear the voice. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. The grass is greener wherever you decide to water it. That's true. All right, left door, here we go. A silent prayer. From the first time since wandering these halls and chambers, you get a sense of peace from being in this room. Oh, do we now? Okay. Let's do our questions. You begin to read the questions from the journal. Do you think about death often? Yes. Do you believe you're going to live a long, eventful life? No. Do you ever talk to yourself? I mean, I am right now, technically. So in that aspect, I guess I'm talking to myself. But for the purpose of this and the way I think it's asking, or I assume it's asking, I'm gonna say no. Have you ever witnessed an event you just couldn't explain? Yes. Have you ever had the fear or suspicion that someone was living inside of your house without your knowledge? No. Do you ever sleep with your feet hanging off the edge of the bed? No. Have you ever considered that you might be crazy and just don't know it? Yes. Does the thought of an afterlife bother you or make you feel uneasy? No. Does the thought that there might not be anything afterlife bother you? No. Would you be willing to give up sex or masturbation for a year if it meant gaining a deeper sense of peace in the end? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be easily manipulated at times? No. Would you consider yourself to be a manipulative individual at times? No. Have you ever felt like you were being followed even when no one was there? Yes. Humans are the most dangerous thing on the planet. Do you agree with this statement? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a dangerous person? No. Okay. Let's get our journal piece. Trying to figure out, is that a backpack? Is that what that is? Get our pedal here and then we'll open that chest. She loves me. Is that us that we're seeing? Who is that? What are our words? Blessing and curse. Let's do the blessing. A golden crucifix. Wonderful. Ask and ye shall receive, wanderer. What do we got here? There's our clock. Pray. Sounded like lots of screaming there. I don't know what all these times are for. It has a crucifix-like shape upon its back. What would you like to do? Walk away. I'm not going to hurt it. A large golden symbol sits atop a stone monument in the corner of the room. It radiates pure positive energy that draws you in and brings you comfort. If you could pray for anything at all, what would you beg of your gods, Wanderer? Would you like to pray at the mysterious altar? Pray for resolve. Pray for a blessing. Pray for a blessing. You kneel before the altar and shut your eyes and meld into the blackness of the room. You recite a prayer in your head. A sense of peace washes over you, and you feel like everything's going to be okay, or all right. Thank you. An old oak barrel sits against the wall. As you listen closely, a knocking seems to be coming from within the barrel. What would you like to do? Knock on the barrel. You extend your hand towards the barrel and begin to knock back. As you pull your hand back, you feel something in your palm. We got a wisdom token. I mean, I'm not going to go willy-nilly smashing shit. Alright. Into the left door we go. We've done left all this time. We might as well keep going left. The halls of the harvester. I hate that. Whatever, I was just curious to say, whatever positive feelings of warmth and comfort you initially felt in the previous room, you feel the polar opposite here. Yep. An extremely keen blade rests on a tray atop the table. Alongside the blade rests a slab of meat with a bite taken out of it. Upon further inspection, it appears to be a kidney. Who's wasting kidneys like that? Ice-cold, bloodied water fills the tub in the corner. The blood surrounding the tub feels warm, wet, and fresh. What would you like to do? I'm going to reach into that bloody tub. You reach your hand into the water and sift through thick, mucousy water. Ugh, that made me want to gag just thinking about it. You feel something small and solid at the bottom of the tub. You bring it to the surface and inspect it. We got a wisdom token. See, I'm all about the wisdom tokens. A wooden grave marker tethered with rope sits before you. Here rests wrath. One's wrath may be a burden upon one's very own soul, but not upon the soul in which wrath is sought to be placed. For if we were to set out for a plot of vengeance and retribution, we must first dig 2 graves before we begin our journey forward. Rest in peace, wrath. All right, let's answer our questions here. Would you consider yourself to be a highly accomplished individual? No. Would you say that you sometimes lack motivation? Yes. Would you say that sometimes you lack discipline? Sure. Have you ever faked your confidence level and pretended to be more confident than you actually are? Yes. Have you ever had the regret of keeping someone in your life for, oh yeah, for sure. Would you say that you have a tendency to hide your true emotions from people? Yes. Are you afraid of what others might think of you if they knew all of your deepest, darkest secrets? No. Have you ever lived in a constant state of dread, just wondering when the next horrible event was going to take place in your life? Yes. Have you ever used a substance or activity to mask pain or avoid your reality? Yes. If you knew exactly what you had to do in order to become the best version of yourself, but it would take constant hard work, determination, discipline, and sacrifice, would you pursue that endeavor? I would try. Are you comfortable with the idea of living a life of mediocrity? I mean, I don't think my life's mediocre. I'm gonna say no. Do you believe that for one reason or another, for better or worse, most people don't deserve you or what you bring to their life. No. If you and your significant other were actively witness a heinous and tragic act of violence take place right in front of you, would you risk the life of your significant other to intervene, knowing that at any point the assailants could turn on the both of you? No, I would not risk my significant other's life. If you were in a survival situation with your best friend and only one of you can make it out alive, would you choose your survival over theirs? No. If you could give up your current life in order to pursue your greatest goals and dreams with the highest chances of immediate success, would you do it? Yes, as long as I could bring things with me. You know what I mean? Like my dog, my significant other, you know, like that. It isn't quite clear what it means on that. All right. Go up in here into the hellscape, I guess. Swear I just heard a knock. The word help. $6.54. Okay. And now we got a red. A twinkling light radiates from the crystallized object on the floor. A small piece of bloody meat sits next to the object. What would you like to do? You reach out and grab the twinkling object. It appears to be encrusted flour, so it's still a crystalline petal. She loves me not. Hopefully I'm not supposed to be keeping track of how many times he says that. A stone statue of a veiled woman stands tall before you. She holds a bloody human heart in her hands. What would you like to do? We'll lay a token. While others are thinking, you should be doing. Fair enough. I will take note of that. Open her up. The Pit of Fools. Something calls to you and pulls at your very soul. It almost feels like something in this room is begging you for help. All right. Grab this, All right, we got our petal. She loves me. Butterfly, covered in white dusty powder. Is that butterfly doing coke? Oh my. A pit of skulls, assorted bones rest beneath the floor. You hear faint whispers coming from the pit, calling out to you. Let's dig through the bones. You dig through the bones and find two skulls that seem to be emanating a large amount of energy, almost as if they're calling to you. As you hold the skulls in your hands, the whispering you once heard has grown silent. All right. A wooden table sits in the middle of the entryway to the chamber. It is coated in a thick layer of dust, and within the dust, there sits an imprint of an object that has seemingly been removed. So we need to find the object, I take it? We all have our demons. Yes. Have you ever felt dead inside? Yes. Have you ever thought about murdering someone? No. Have you ever felt suicidal? Yes. If you had an incurable disease, would you want to intentionally transmit it to someone you disliked? No. If you had 3 wishes, would you ever give one away? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be controlling? No. I don't. But I like to know what's going on, but not controlling. Do you believe that your life is of great importance and value? Maybe to some people, but not really. Do you believe that your fate is predetermined? No, as I really don't believe in fate. Do you believe that our thoughts can manifest into reality? Yes. And I say that because I've watched a person be so scared of having a heart attack, they gave themselves a heart attack. Would you consider yourself to be optimistic? Not really. Would you consider yourself to be pessimistic at times? Yes. Have you ever wondered if you were already dead and just didn't know it? No. Have you ever felt physically restrained or held down by an unseen force? No. Do you believe that you have a soul? Yes. I mean, and I don't know, I believe our soul is what drives us, in a way. You know what? Like we're alive. It's driving us. That's kind of how I feel. Alright, what the hell's going on up here? A cracked stone platform rests in the corner. There seems to be an indentation where something once sat. You place a skull atop the monument. It fits perfectly as if it's finally resting where it belongs. Good guess, huh? A cracked stone platform sits in the corner. We're going to place the other skull. A place for everything and everything in its place. The room grows suddenly colder. Something about the energy here has shifted. A bloody birthday cake sits on the dirty floor. The candles have been lit and already snuffed out. What would you like to do? Let's dig into it. You extend your hand towards the blood-soaked birthday cake and begin to dig through it. Ooh. I'm glad I didn't eat that. You're digging through the cake and you find something round and hard within. We got a wisdom token. And we got an unlocked door now. Oh. What we got here? As you approach the skull and candles, you can hear a faint whispering coming from the table they sit on. You can't quite make out the words no matter how closely you listen. When you try to move the skull, it won't budge. And all the candles have been lit and burnt halfway except for one which remains pristine. What would you like to do? Take the unlit candle. A powdery substance coats your fingers. Bone dust candle. Interesting. Alright, let's get out of the moans of the damned here. A way out. That's a game. You hear the shuffling of feet in the darkest parts of the room, just out of reach of firelight. You get a sense that something very bad has transpired here. I think something bad has transpired everywhere here. Parchment and quill rest on the table before you. There appears to be a note from a previous visitor. Let's read the note. If you're reading this, then it's already too late for me. I should have heeded the warning of the note I found earlier. I can't take it no more. I shouldn't be here. No one should be here. This place does things to you. It distorts your mind. It drives you to do things. Things a good soul would never do. The things I've done, oh God, please, forgive me for the awful things I've done here. I should have listened, and now there's only one thing left to do. There's only one way out of this hell, and it knows it too. The watchful one. The monsters in the walls. It knows just when we're about to break, and it provides an exit for us. It provides our way out, just when we can't take it anymore. I will take my exit now. I will find solace in knowing that my selfishness, my greed will not go unpunished. I will atone for it all I've done, all those I've hurt in search of answers for oneself. I will take my leave, and I pray that my soul finds its way out of these wretched chambers once and for all. Signed, Just Another Wanderer. Ooh, the music has gotten heavy. Oh, I can hold that down. Didn't know that. We got an old wooden chest, handprints, and words. Rags and riches. I don't know what, like in what context I'm reading these in, or this puzzle is. I'm not materialistic, so would I like to have money? Sure. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to not have to worry about money? Like your bills and stuff. That's what I mean. Not like materialistic things, but not have to worry about, are your bills going to be paid? Are you going to have food in your house? Are you going to have water? Are you going to have power? All those worries. Make sure all your bills are paid and be comfortable. Who would? That would. They say money can't buy happiness. I disagree with that, because if you don't have to worry about your bills, you have food, all that, you're happy. My 2 cents. We got a commoner's garb. Perhaps you should have chosen more wisely, Wanderer, or perhaps you know exactly what you're doing. No, honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know why it wants me to pluck the... I'm not plucking the wings, damn it. A blood-spattered statue of an angel stands before you, pressing her hands together with the head hung low deep in prayer. As you stand near her, you can hear a faint whisper coming from the statue. It briefly looks as though the statue's lips are moving, as if the angel is mumbling to herself. But the longer you stare, the more silent and still the statue grows. A blood-splattered statue of an angel sits with her eyes fixated on a blade setting in blood, resting atop a stone table. It almost seems as though the angel's eyes shift and look at you for a brief moment. But perhaps your own eyes are merely playing cruel tricks. A dull iron blade sits in blood, resting atop a stone table. There is a certain darkness that emanates from the blade, and it gives off a very negative energy. You get the sense that this blade was not used for the best of intentions. Oh yeah? What makes you think that? What's this clock? You. This is the finger clock. The finger clock. Oh, we're back to 111. All right. Let's get our questions out of the way. Do you love yourself? No. Have you ever hated yourself? Yes. Have you ever wished that you'd never been born? Yes. Do you ever get chills up your spine when someone walks behind you? Yes. Have you ever watched someone die? Yes. Many people, sadly. Have you ever stolen something personal from someone and then returned it without them knowing? No. Do you always lock the doors to your home? Yes. Do you sleep with the window open? Sometimes. Would you add a decade to your life if it meant taking a decade off the lifespan of a random individual who you'll never meet or come in contact with? No. Have you ever felt like someone was watching you through your window? Yes. Have you ever wished that someone you've hated would die? No. Do you ever fear the possibility of permanently losing your memory? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a good person? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a bad person? No. Have you ever felt like maybe you're not even a person at all? Yes. You finish inking our answers and... This is a cool take on their series. I like the RPG aspects of it. There's an object on the floor, stuck inside a severed toe. Let's pull it out. I love getting my crystalline petals from severed body parts. She loves me not. Did I see what you had? Yeah. I thought I did, but I'm not plucking it. Her hands are firmly clamped around a human brain, squishing the tissue as gray matter pours forth and envelops her cold stone fingers. We're going to lay a token. If you believe you can do something, then chances are you can. If you believe you can't, well then, you're probably right about that too. I believe a lot of these wisdom things. I mean, I talk about this all the time, like the YouTube channel. I don't believe I'll ever make it full-time doing this. I do it just for fun, and I enjoy doing it. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe I manifest that negativity myself. I don't know. Who knows? Innocence Lost was some horrible nightmare music. As you open your eyes and gaze around the room, visions of your childhood cloud your mind. Some memories bring you nostalgic bliss, whereas others bring you brief headache or heartache and grief before you quickly flush the thoughts from your memory and continue onward. Unopened presents and gift wrap boxes litter the table. Each of them feel nearly weightless, as if all the boxes are empty. Blood-soaked gifts litter the table before you. Each box looks pristinely wrapped, yet caked with dirt and blood. Okay. Tattered and old, yet neatly folded blankets rest on the table. They're warm to touch in an otherwise cold room. All right, let's answer our questions. Are you afraid of being forgotten? No. Nobody knows about me anyway. Have you ever heard voices in your head? No. Do you have a habit of starting projects and not finish them sometimes? Would you say that you get sick easily? No. Do you ever feel like things end poorly for you even when they've been going well right up until the end? Yes. Do you ever feel like life has been disappointing? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a disappointment? Sometimes, yes. Do you ever feel tired, drained, and like you wish you could just sleep forever? Yes. Do you sometimes have difficulty going to sleep or even staying asleep? Yes. Do you ever wish you could be more productive? Yes. Do you ever suffer from intrusive thoughts that you just can't seem to flush out of your mind? Yes. Would you say that you've experienced many strained friendships or relationships in your lifetime? Not really. Not many. I mean, there's always been some. I'm sure everybody has, but I'm not going to say many. Have you ever felt like you're drawn towards people in life who just aren't good for you? Yes. Have you ever felt like you were living in an unhealthy lifestyle? The food I eat. Have you ever just wished things could be different? Yes. All the time. We should be getting near the end of this, guys, so thank you for going along this journey with me. All right. It sits among a pile of pulled teeth. Disgusting. Let's grab our flower petal. She loves me. What's this butterfly got? Its wings begin to sparkle. What would you like to do? I'm not going to take its wings. That's rude. A small ritualistic altar rests on the dirty floor. Coins sit among candles, all surrounding a picture of a mirror. Among the coins, you know there's one in particular that's half of a coin. We're going to take it because we have the other half. Now, can I combine those? It won't let me. Yeah, it won't let me combine them. Bleeding eyes, blood-soaked thighs, innocent cries, Dolly dies. Morbid sin, look within, next of kin, begin again. Ooh. I don't like where that's going. That's dark. Yeah, let's get that out there. What would you like to do? feel like I'm missing something here. I'll come back. Inside the water basin, what appears to be a drowned fetus rests stagnant and unmoving. Yuck. The umbilical cord is still attached, hanging over the side of the basin. A bucket of fetid flesh and blood overflows from the moldy, rotted wooden bucket. Inside the bucket appears to be afterbirth and carved insides of what once must have been a womb. Well, that's fucking horrible. Small handprint. So, I don't know if what is going on here is what my mind thinks from the poem, but I don't like that. I think that is horrible. Look around here a little bit. Bleeding eyes, blood-soaked thighs, innocent cries, Dolly dies. Morbid sin, look within, next of kin, begin again. I don't know. I'm gonna pick up the red doll. I'm not sure what the deal is with that puzzle. I don't like where that was going. And we're not going to discuss it because that's fucking awful. Blood money. The metallic smell of iron stings your nostrils. You hear the clanking of coins in the distance, and you catch a glimmer of something in the shadows out of the corner of your eye. Sounds like a boss fight. A demonic stone figure resides in front of you. It appears to have space for something at the base of the statue. I don't have anything to place there. A mysterious altar stands before you. Upon the altar rests a tattered diary. The first page seems to be ripped out. The parchment material used in this diary seems familiar. Perhaps the missing page could be restructured if one were to find enough pieces. Is that our journal pieces? You begin to read questions from the journal. Let's get it done. Do you ever have dreams that you could swear are real all the time? In the past, you felt positive or happy. Have you ever experienced an immediate sense of negativity that just sucks all your happy? Yes. If you were camping alone in the woods at night and you heard a woman scream, would you investigate? Yes. If you were alone in your home at night and you suddenly heard the sound of children laughing, yet no one was to be found, would you continue to stay in your home for the night? Yep. If you were camping in the woods alone and something kept unzipping your tent, yet you couldn't seem to figure out what it was, would you continue to stay in the woods? No. If you saw your neighbor putting a dead body in the trunk of their car, would you attempt to stop them? Yes. If you were driving home at night and saw a naked woman on the side of the road covered in blood, would you stop to help? Yes. If you were fast asleep in your bed only to be awakened by an unseen force grabbing you and shaking you violently, would you attempt to go back to sleep once it was over? Probably not. If you were in an empty grocery store and a strange man appeared and suddenly started sprinting at you, would you turn and run? Fuck yeah. If you were home alone sitting in the bathtub when suddenly the lights turned off in the bathroom and the door began to unlock and slowly swing open to reveal no one standing there, would you get dressed and leave your house immediately? No, I would probably investigate it. If you had to resort to cannibalism in order to survive, do you think you could do it? Nope. If you were stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean, do you think you could survive long enough to be rescued? Yeah, probably. Have you ever thought about what it would be like to burn to death? No, because I've seen it. Would you consider yourself to be a morbid person? No, but my job makes things bad. Like, one final question remains on the page. It's emboldened and outlined in red. Are you satisfied? No. That's really what it all comes down to, isn't it, Wanderer? Are you satisfied? Satisfaction is the death of desire, you know. All right. The final page of the journal appears to be considerably torn. Perhaps this will be of use. Feels like we're getting to the end here. An old dusty clock sits on the wall. Candle wax. Like I said, I don't know if I need these or not, but... $3.33. Let's put our journal on the altar. What are we going to read? Final entry. An empty sky leaves our prayers in vain. A solemn swear through darkened window panes. We confess our sins of flesh and blood, for we're buried deep and swept away by flood. Our ashes carried in the midnight wind, a bitter vow we wish we could rescind, a fallacy of hope to raise our spirits high, for we're dropped below and left there to die. An appraisal of worth judged by our peers, a sign of affection as they wipe our tears. They bottle our blood and drink our sweat to build a future we don't deserve to get. And if the fires come to claim us all, the few brave souls that refuse to fall will echo through the walls of eternity to a future that the lowly won't rise to see. We chase the demons of the past to build a kingdom that will never last. Upon sweat and tears, blood and bone, we build a new place to call our home. Signed, the Madman. And I can't speed these up. Come on, Madman. All right. What's the butterfly? Pentagram-like symbol lasts on its back. What's this one in? Glimmers reveals the damaged tile underneath. Okay. She loves me not. A wooden grave marker tethered with rope sits before you. What do you want to do? Here rests greed. Greed is a hungry mouth with an insatiable appetite for more. In the absence of satisfaction for what one has, they will crave and they will continue to eat until they've dug their own graves with their teeth. I mean, I don't believe if you're not satisfied doesn't mean you're not greed. Yeah, like, I feel I could improve things to make there more satisfaction. I mean, yeah, I'm satisfied with what I have, technically, but I could always do better. I could always do better for the family. You know what I mean? Like, at least that's the way I look at it. A massive golden chalice filled to the brim with gold coins rests on the floor. Upon further inspection, there appears to be indentation at the base of the chalice as if it has been moved from its original location. What would you like to do? Well, I don't want to take it. All right. What is our words? Future and present. Future. I'm always thinking of the future and what I can do to improve our future. Got a crystal ball. Do you like what you see, Wanderer? Or perhaps you're afraid of what you might see when you gaze a bit deeper? A stone statue of a veiled woman stands tall before you. A bloody coin rests between her fingers. You lay the token at her feet. You hear a voice echo in your mind. Courage is not being fearless, for there is no courage with the absence of fear. Courage is being afraid, yet acting anyway. Are you a courageous soul? Yes. I'm curious about this. If it's been moved from its original location, I would like to return it to its original location. Okay, I took it. I want to put it somewhere. Is there somewhere here I can put it? There we go. You place the large golden chalice at the base of the statue. The golden coins within the chalice quickly melt and turn to blood, overflowing and spilling onto the floor. The blood forms a symbol on the ground before you. The chalice runneth over with blood money. A single coin is left in the chalice, unmelted and undamaged. It's unlike the others it's set amongst, and it floats to the surface, carried by the steady flow of blood. We got our wisdom token. Ugh. All right, we're going left. The interrogation room. You think you hear what sounds like someone flipping through pages in a heavy tome. You can't quite figure out where it's coming from, and you don't see anyone else in the room. What's this clock? Rope. $4.44. One half of a noose rests on this table. The rope has been severed from the loop. One half of a noose rests on this table. The loop has been severed from the rope. We got another grave marker here. Here rests pride. Pride will always come before the fall, and it will always create long distance between two close people. Pride seeks to break us from the inside, but I assure you, no one has ever choked from the swallowing of their pride. Envy, gluttony, greed, sloth, lust, wrath, and pride. All the things that grow within, all the things we cannot and mustn't avoid entirely. They all have their place and they each have their uses. Everything in life is about balance. Exceeding the bounds of moderation builds a tower upon an unstable foundation, and we shall watch our kingdoms crumble if we stack them too high and heavy with any of these. Oh, what's that one? Rest in peace, pride. We got another chest here with words. Let's see what we got. Knowledge and power. Knowledge. Easy. Book of Knowledge. Thank you very much. An interesting choice. You'd make a choice like that, Wanderer. Especially considering how they're essentially the same thing. A tiny noose sits around the neck of the butterfly. I don't know if I agree with that. Appears to be attached to a long greenish brown stem. All right, so that she loves me. Now come, wanderer, come hither at once. For it is finally time to meet the demon that you've been chasing all this way. Okay. An old stone plaque sits pressed against the wall. The chiseling has been lost to the test of time, and you can't quite make out what it was meant to read. A blood-soaked journal sits atop the wooden table. It has a long list of questions with blank spaces for answers to be written. Here we go. This must be the final study of us. Do you feel a darkness inside you? No. Have you ever felt like you were destined for more than where your life has taken you? Yes. Have you ever been so afraid of the future that you just stopped trying to progress? Yeah. Have you ever considered that you might have a fear of failure? Yes. Have you ever considered that you might have a fear of success? No. Do you value honesty above all else? Excuse me. Yes. Do you have a set of morals that others might consider questionable? No. Do you follow your own moral core? I mean, no, I follow the moral code of be a good fucking person. I mean, no. Do you believe that standing for what you believe sometimes means standing alone? Yes. Are you afraid of where your life may take you in the next several years? Not really. Are you suffering inside right now? Not at this moment, but overall, kind of, yes. Do you ever wish that your words would fall unto ears that weren't so deaf? Yes. Do you ever feel like no one listens to you? Yes. Do you ever feel like you can understand others quite well, but others cannot understand you? Yes. Are you afraid of the unknown? Not really. Are you afraid of running out of time as your life comes to an end before you've managed to accomplish all the things you wish to accomplish? Yes. Are you afraid of surviving while your loved ones perish? Yes. Do you have a fear of abandonment? Yes. Do you carry around a lot of heartache from your past? Yes. Do you harbor resentment for others who have done you wrong? Yes. Would you say that you have some regrets in life? Yes, I think we all do. If you could do it all over again, would you do something differently? Or do anything differently? Yes. Are you proud of who you've become? As a person, for the most part, yes. Do you feel like your choices and circumstances in life have made you who they are? Yeah. Do you wish you would have been treated more fairly by others in the past? Yes. Do you strive to treat others better than you might have been treated? Yes. Do you ever wish you could help more people? Yes. Do you sometimes wish you could more easily help yourself? Yes. Do you look forward to a life where life may take you? I mean, I'm along for the ride, so I don't really look forward to it. Do you ever feel like you aren't living up to your full potential? Yes. If you knew that following your dreams would end in certain success, would you do whatever it takes to pursue and achieve them? Yes. If you could travel into the past or future but never return to the present, would you do it? Yes. Have you ever made peace with your past? As best as I can, yes. Have you made peace with your current circumstances? Yes. Are you afraid of what conflict may arise in the future? Yes. If you could work twice as much as you do now and reap twice the amount of benefits from doing so, would you do it? I'm kind of starting to do that anyway. I guess I would. Do you ever wish that you could be forgiven for the wrong you've done? I mean, yeah, if I've done any wrong to anybody, I'd hope they could forgive me, but I don't feel I can forgive other people for the things they've done to me, so it's kind of a two-way sword. I guess that's kind of greedy, kind of. But some people are evil and don't deserve to be forgave. Do you sometimes blame yourself even when things may not be your fault? Yes. Do you feel that others place the blame on you more often than they should? Not really. Would you enjoy an entire month of solitude with no communication with the outside world? As long as I had my dogs and seeing my partner? Yeah. Do you wish your life turned out differently thus far? Yes. Are you proud of what you've managed to accomplish? Yes. Do you feel like you could have accomplished more than what you've already have thus far? Yes. Have you ever felt like you're wasting your potential in life? Yeah. Do you ever get the sense that you have a hidden talent or undiscovered potential just waiting to break free? No. Have you ever felt like there was something special and unique about you that you just can't place your finger on? Yes, I think everybody does. Do you have a difficult time trusting others? Yes. Do you ever get the sense that your mind works differently from others? Yes. Have you ever wanted to make other people happier than the world has made you? Yes. If I told you that everything is going to be okay, would you believe me? No. On the final page of the entry journal, there rests a small token between the pages. Another wisdom token. In the back of the journal, there seems to be one final question hidden away. If there was a switches, if there was a set of switches on the wall, each of them with a color and a number designated to them with no other indicator as to what the switches did, which one would you choose to switch? I probably wouldn't flip any. Yeah, I don't think I would flip any switches. Huh. I mean, if I'm putting myself in this game, in this situation, as if I was really there. If there was a set of switches on the wall, each of them with a color and a number designated to them with no other indicator as to what the switches did, which switch would you choose to flip? I don't think I'd flip any. Is that it? All right, let's go through the left door. Upon a rotting house. The smell of mold fills the chamber you now reside in, unlike any that you've experienced before. There's an unmistakably overabundant dampness and exuberant amount of humidity that hangs heavy in this room. To add to the already overwhelming amount of discomfort that this chamber brings, the sound of water constantly dripping from the ceiling and walls is enough to drive someone mad if given enough time. All right, what's this clock? Grease and grime. Running out of room on this page. 5:55, and we should be near the end of the game here. A tattered piece of parchment hangs on the wall containing ripped recipes for various meals. Below the parchment rests a butcher block coated in blood. Old, crusty, stale, hardened bread sits on the countertop. Small jars of viscous liquid rest next to the bread. The sink that sits against the wall is rusted and filthy. A sour stench rises from the drain and mixes with the smell of hanging garlic and herbs from the wall above. An old iron stove sits in the corner. It's fairly filthy but well kept in terms of remaining intact and unbroken. Above the old stove contains a wall full of iron pots, pans, and various cooking utensils. Interestingly enough, the cooking utensils appear to be unused and in good condition, if not a bit dusty. Various cobweb cake crates of rotten, moldy ingredients rest on the kitchen floor. This crate seems to contain an odd mix of carrots and peppers. This crate contains salt-preserved fish heads that have not been kept properly. cabbage. Spiders have made their home between the leaves. Mixed grains. Broken glass with chunks of flesh and heaps of blood rests still and old on the splintered oak table. Cobwebs cling to the stool around the table, and the legs of the chairs seem to be chewed apart by some small critter, adding to their degradation. Okay. What's this butterfly got? You're rotting and festering. I don't... Now that one I feel like I should pick its wings off of. An unworldly king sits alone at a decrepit table, lost in deep thought. He pays no attention to you as you approach, yet he mumbles quietly to himself just loud enough for you to make out a few words. The king's eyes shift violently toward the crystalline petal collection that you've acquired on your journey. The king fixates on the petals for a moment and then averts his gaze from yours as the room grows dark and still. I've been expecting you, wanderer. At long last you've arrived. I presume you know very little of the petals you hold. Allow me to share with you the tale of how they came to be. There's a story of a lonely man who lives in a very lonely, dreary, gray world, for everything is dull, drab, and melancholy. The air bitter, the sky blackened, the dark sky looms and is filled with even darker clouds. The desolate land in which the man treads is nothing but flat and endless. There lies no clear direction to travel. No destination in the bleak landscape. The atmosphere encompassing this realm has a distinct void of purpose, and all who wander here are most certainly lost. The man walks through these fields each and every day alone, until one very special day, in the middle of these dreary fields, he discovers something full of color and life. Something vibrant, something which radiates a rare special glow unlike anything he's ever seen before. He carefully approaches and looks down upon what seems to be causing this phenomena. Before him sits a flower, but not just any flower, mind you. No, this flower is special. This beautiful, intoxicating flower is unlike anything he's ever seen before. It radiates a positive energy, a powerful aura, and upon seeing this flower, the man feels instantaneously euphoric. He lays down next to the flower and admires its beauty, basking in the constant flow of energy that it gives him. He wonders, how can something with beauty such as this exist in a world engulfed in seemingly endless darkness and gloom? And with that, he spends as much time as he can with the flower until the sun inevitably sets. And darkness begins to fall. It is time to go home. It's time to leave. It's time to say goodbye. The man crawls to his feet, dusts himself off with a few brushes of his attire, and feels noticeably happier than he did before coming upon the flower. He then walks home, and enters a small wood-built house, gets into bed, made of rough woolen covers, and tries as he best... Let me restart that, guys. He then walks home and enters his small wood-built house, gets into his bed made of rough woolen covers, and tries as best he can to get some sleep. As he closes his eyes, the last thought on his mind before slipping into unconsciousness is the flower, and the flower is what he dreams of on that night. When he awakes from his incredible dream of spending more time with the flower, he decided to get dressed and immediately return to the field in which he saw the thing that radiated such vibrance and beauty, hoping that it would still be there waiting for him. After traveling, he arrives in the field, and there the flower still remains. So the man happily lays down next to the flower once more, just as he had done the day before, and begins to enjoy the energy that the flower pours into him, admiring the petals endlessly. And then, darkness falls once more. The man begins to leave, but this time less satisfied than before. He arrives at home, gets into bed, and tries to sleep, but this too offers a different experience than the previous night. As he closes his eyes, the man is restless. He's uncomfortable, he's perturbed, and he has a difficult time falling asleep because the flower that makes him so happy isn't with him anymore. The flower is somewhere else, in some field growing in such a dark world, all on its own, and he too is all on his own. The man begins to bellow and weep until eventually he cries himself to sleep. He awakens in the morning, immediately gets dressed in whatever clothing he can find, and bolts out the door to the field, not slowing his pace even for a moment until he arrives. He leaps to the dirt floor and lays with the flower all day long, enjoying the energy that radiates, just as he did in the days prior. And just as the days prior ended, the darkness falls once again. The man gets up and begins to walk home, saddened and burdened with a heavy heart, but something calls him back. A feeling in the pit of his stomach, a hole in his heart. He turns and walks back to the flower, and he plucks it from the soil in which it has grown its entire life. He puts it into his pocket and hurries home excitedly. He lays in bed with a smile on his face and sets the flower on his pillow. He begins to admire the beauty of the petals all night, and they continue to bring him so much joy, so much bliss that he had never had the pleasure of feeling before. The man is beyond content. For the first time in his life, in this dark, ugly world, the man is happy. For now, he gets to spend all his time with the flower, and he gets to enjoy it constantly, whenever and however he'd like, never having to say goodbye. And the days go on, they quickly turn to nights, and the nights turn back into days. After a week has passed and his heart is full to the brim, the man notices something about the flower that he hadn't realized before. The glow it once had has begun to fade. The color that was once vibrant has begun to grow pale. The leaves that were once so lively and green had begun to wilt, and the stem, which held it so high above the ground, had become soft and started to rot. The flower was dying, and the man knew what was coming next. He watered it profusely. He nurtured it gingerly. The man did everything he could to save the flower from impending doom. But in the end, as days turned to weeks and the air grew colder and increasingly bitter, the flower lost its petals and the stem lost its color. The flower lost its energy, and then, as if all the happiness in the world had been sucked out and blown like ashes to the wind, the flower died. The man lamented, he wailed, he cried tears heavy to match the burden and pain within his heart. For the only thing that had ever made him happy in life, or had ever filled that void within himself, was now gone. And the man knew deep within his soul that it was never coming back. He killed the thing that he loved and treasured so dear because he craved it so badly. He wanted it for himself. His selfishness, his greed, his possession killed the flower. And he would never know happiness again. I killed her. I killed her vibrance, her beauty, her radiant energy. I plucked her from what she needed to grow and be herself. Like a candle burning in the windswept quarter, I carelessly snuffed out the flame that once shone so bright and lit the way to a better, brighter, happier future for all. Instead of enjoying my flower for what she was, instead of being appreciative of the time I had with her, I couldn't have just been content with the circumstances. I plucked her from the very life source that she needed in order to flourish and grow. I sought to possess her, and in turn, I lost her forever. My flower was no longer what she once was when I came to know her, but instead, left as an empty, soulless husk of her former self, and now, so too am I. Wow. That was powerful. If only I sought to appreciate rather than possess, she would still bless this world with her radiant beauty. My beautiful, unique, rare flower. The only thing that ever brought me joy. And now I sit alone, all alone atop my throne of nothing, a crown atop my head of emptiness only to match my heart. Isn't it funny? If I had not been so selfish, I could have had it all. But because all is what I wanted, nothing is what I got. I deserve my emptiness. I implore you to heed my warning, for if you make the same mistakes that I have wrought me this life of misery, then you will surely deserve the same fate that hath begotten this old, bitter, lonely king. Now leave your petals upon the table. Walk away from them once and for all. Leave them with me before they consume your soul too. Leave the petals on the table. You scrounge together all your crystalline petals and place them gently on the wood table before the king. They begin to shake and tremble and form into shapes before your very eyes. You are wise beyond your years. You are smarter and better than I ever could have hoped to be. Our fates will not be shared on this day. Fresh, delicate flowers sit atop the table. They give off sickly sweet aroma that's rather intoxicating. You can't help but feel better when near them. Is that it? A beautiful flower rests in her hands. What would you like to do? We'll lay a token. When you're feeling pain, take the time to ponder what's hurting, why it's hurting, what you've done to deserve it, and how you got into the position you're in. Life is trying to teach you a very valuable lesson. You will be forced to relearn this lesson over and over again if you don't take the time to learn properly the first time. Okay. Feel bad for the king. Is this our last room? The Halls of Reflection. You can hear a fire crackling in the distance and feel the warmth of the flame it provides. The room smells clean and pure as though it's been well maintained and actively lived in. Steam said this game was only about 2.5 hours. We're almost 3 hours in. No. There doesn't appear to be anything abnormal about this critter. What would you like to do? Nothing. The fireplace rages on, yet the cobwebs around it cling tight and refuse to burn. There's no way that this fireplace could stay lit for a long period of time with the current state it's in. Someone has been here recently. I don't know why you went over there. Butterfly, I need you to move. An old painting of a man with a distorted face rests on the stone wall. His eyeballs appear to be plucked out of his head and rest on the table in front of him. The painting is titled The Watcher. Weird. A piece of parchment hangs on the wall. It contains a list of names you've never heard of. Strangely, all the names appear to be written upside down. Okay. We're not gonna look into that any further. Royal tapestry hangs on the wall. It's obviously seen better days. Okay. What's this clock? Frozen at 7:06. The hands emit a faint purple glow. A statue of an unholy figure stands tall before you. It radiates a dark energy and emits great heat from within its molten belly. What would you like to do? I want to walk away first. I want to see what we got here. Fresh fruit in a bowl on the table beneath some tattered tapestries. The fruit seems like it was just picked and washed this morning. There's no sign of bugs, pests, or looming in the bowl, and no signs of rot or decay. An old plaque rests on the wall with various names chiseled into it. There are only 4 names on the plaque that you can see. 3 of them are names you've never heard of before. The final name is yours. A stone chair is positioned tightly against the wall. In its seat sits a peculiar figure. It remains idle, yet you get the sense it's watching every move you decide to make. Something rests in the hands of the figure. What do you do? It's holding a small coin, a wisdom token. Your decision has been noted. Do I want to... Excuse me. Do I want to throw all my coins in? Sure. You hear a dark voice echo off the walls in your mind. You've come this far. Take a good hard look in the mirror. You deserve to know the truth. You've earned your reflection. You've paid your tribute and you'll get exactly what you deserve. Oh, well, that sounds horrible in every stretch of the imagination. So, alright. This is it, Wanderer. This is what you've been waiting for. That's the Watcher. Every decision you've made has led you to this moment. Now, gaze upon the mirror and tell me what you see. Pressed against the wall sits a mystical mirror, swirling with radiant magics. You can see many different images contorting themselves within the twisted nether. Would you like to look deeper in the mirror and see your reflection? Yes. Mirror, mirror, show to thee what secrets have been hidden from me. Show me weakness, show me strength, describe in detail, tell in length. Show me what I've been afraid to see. Show me who I'm afraid to be. Show me everything reflect it's true. Show me why I've come to you. Oh boy. You gaze deeply into the mirror at your own reflection. What it reflects back at you are the answers you seek. Deep within the mirror, a reflection is formed. It has revealed to you the reflection of duality. The story of duality is an interesting one for multiple reasons. It is said that there was once a man who was so lost in life and with no foreseeable direction, he asked everyone he met in his journey for advice. Every day he would ask something, what should I do? Where should I go? Every day he was shunned time and time again. And if he wasn't shunned, he was given poor advice that surely led him in the wrong direction. After years upon years and thousand upon thousand of words given in an attempt to help this man, he soon realized that no one had the answers that he was seeking. In a severe bout of depression and misery, he decided to venture down the river to drown himself. Upon reaching the river, he inhaled a deep breath of air that he assumed would be his last, closed his eyes and exhaled in defeat. He then opened his eyes briefly and stared down at the water before him, and where his reflection was meant to be, what he saw shocked and startled the man to his very core. For in the water, the reflection staring back at the man was a woman of incredible beauty and elegance. The man kicked the water with his feet, and the image of the woman dissipated briefly, but over the next few minutes returned just as it once had been. The man took a great step backwards in awe, and then the water began to swirl before him. The river raged up from the water, became a beautiful woman. Sorry, I didn't read that very good, guys. Standing in the middle of the river, above the raging water, the woman looked directly into the man's eyes and spoke in a sweet, calming voice. You seek a direction, but you know your direction. The man was confused by her words. His initial thought was to ask the woman who she was, but the thought quickly washed away as he was overcome with a sense of familiarity upon hearing her voice. It's almost as if he knew exactly who she was, as if she had been close before. Perhaps close would even be a bit of an understatement to describe the emotion that washed over the man at that moment in time. The woman spoke once more. You've asked the world where you should go, but you've liked no answer given. The man paused for a moment. The woman asked, do you know why? The man immediately answered, yes, I do. I don't like their answers because the path they tell me to go on comes from their heart and their soul, but not of my own, the man said pridefully. The woman responded, that is correct, so why don't you ask yourself what direction you should venture in? To which the man quickly replied, because my heart is broken and my soul is enslaved. I have been shunned, I have been outcast, I have been beaten down, spat on, and cast aside for as long as I can remember. No one wants me, no one needs me, and my future is painted black. The woman smiled at the man before speaking once more. Your future is painted whatever color you wish it to be. You are hard, you are blunt. You are the defensive walls that encapsulates and protects everything that I am. The man asked the woman questioningly, and what is that you are? To which the woman, I am soft, I am love, I am forgiveness. I am everything that you reject and everything that you are afraid to accept about yourself for the fear of being vulnerable, for the fear of being weak. If you wish to find direction, you must stop imprisoning yourself within your own walls. And with that, the woman walked forward slowly until her body melted with the man's and they collided and she disappeared within him. The man felt an overwhelming sense of relief and calmness watch over him, as if he had been reborn, nay, reawakened. It is as if something that he had always knew existed within him was unleashed, as if the door that kept his true self locked away inside had just been unlocked for the very first time. He felt a sense of freedom in life that wasn't there before, and with that he turned his back to the river and walked confidently in his own direction. The reflection of duality represents two sides to a person, the warmth and the cold, the sweet and the bitter, the fearful and the courageous, the wise and the foolish, the forgiving and the judging. Each side of ourselves is meant to work in harmony and balance to create a life that's perfect for us as an individual. But sometimes we struggle to find that balance and often feel separated from our other half. When we attempt to pull ourselves back together, it can be incredibly painful. And that pain we feel when we attempt to live in balance is what prevents us from conjoining back together fully. What we don't realize is the pain is temporary, and if we can just strengthen ourselves enough to deal with the pain of rebalancing, we can be whole once again. We can feel things that we haven't felt since we were children. We can love with our entire heart. We can think with our entire mind. We can go feel with our entire soul. And we can find the direction we're truly meant to go. As long as we are balanced, we can solve any problem that the world throws at us. We can ask others for advice, but internally we all know that the answers to our own problems. I'm going to restart that. We can ask others for advice, but internally we all know the answers to our own problems because our problems are our own and not anyone else's. They cannot feel what we feel precisely the way we feel it, and they cannot solve the issues that we suffer from. We know what we need to do in order to get better, to not only survive and merely exist, but to thrive in this world. We often ignore the solution because it's more painful than we care to admit. If you're out of balance in any way, focus on rebalancing the sides of you that are lacking, and you will solve even the biggest problems in life. And for the problems that do not have a proper solution, your balanced self will be strong enough to endure any hardships that may come your way. Excuse me. Let the reflection of duality be your warning and your blessing, and venture forth in your own direction towards a healthy, rebalanced life that you can be proud of living. Your secret word is duality. Remember this word, for it will benefit you greatly if you decide to use it. Sometimes the mirror reflects something within your soul, and sometimes the mirror reflects the reverse of what resides inside of you. Both factors are of equal value. It is up to you to interpret whether your reflection shows your reality or the reverse of it, Wanderer. So pay heed and listen to my words, for the mirror never lies. I will free you from the confines of this place once and for all. You are free to do as you please from this point forward. I will wish you the best of luck in your journey forward, Wanderer, for it is time for you to do some reflection of your very own. You have discovered 7 out of 7 deadly sins. You have discovered 0 out of 23 butterflies. You discovered 18 out of 18 torn journal pages. You have discovered 21 out of 21 crystalline petals. So, was I really supposed to pull the wings off the butterflies? I don't like that. 7 out of 7 artifacts, 8 out of 8 relics. There are far more hidden secrets left for you to uncover, but this particular journey must end here. Your result has been based on many different variables and may vary with each playthrough depending on a multitude of factors. There are 5 separate endings to discover and many hidden secrets littered throughout each room that can only be found by a clever exploration. We hope you enjoyed your experience and have learned a little more about how your brain works when presented with various scenarios and options to choose from. Take the secret word assigned to you and leave it in a comment for us. Yep. In the meantime, the advisor. Huh. 7th installment of the test series, the reality check, which we just did. Awesome. So I have left all from my test series. I've left all of these. So we will go leave the secret word after this. Sorry, I'm just kind of blowing through this, guys. It's nothing really pertinent to you particularly. We would like a very special shout out to Markiplier, and his community for sorting us through our tires. It has really meant so much to us as longtime fans, and the amount of joy you bring the rest of us through your content and your community support is second to none. Thank you for being you, and we really hope to punch a nun at some point in the near future. We want to wish you all the future endeavors, and may your lives be flooded with happiness you deserve. Markiplier's new amazing project in space and Markiplier. Okay, so this is an older game. So these are obviously fans of Markiplier. Well, this was good. I didn't like it as much as the other ones, but it was a different take on their test series. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I like what they did. So, is it right about me? Maybe. I don't know. It could be. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it's 2 long parts, but be nice to one another, fight zombies and not each other, and we'll meet in the next video.